Talking Thick with Chrissy. Tonight we have my guests, John and Ida Farris, who has came on to talk thick about their startup business. Before I get started, though, I do want to give a shout out and my condolences for Malcolm Jamal Warner, sending condolences and love to his family. He is truly, truly missed. It took, I don't know, it was a lot of people posting about it, but it kind of took a toll on me. But I just wanted to give a shout out and send love to his family, his mom, his dad, especially his wife and his daughter. Whew, yeah. Well, I am your host, Talking Thick with Chrissy. My show was started to celebrate wins, to talk about having thick connections and having real connections. Again, tonight my show is with John and Ida Farris to talk about their startup business and their legacy that they're leaving for their family. So welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, tell my audience a little bit about yourselves.
Well, my name is John Farris. I'm the CEO and owner of, or part owner of Papa Smoke Shop and Papa Sugar Shop, and this is my wife Ida.
The better half of the partnership.
we, we already know that, Ida.
I'm not going to go there, Chris. I'm not gonna go.
I know that both of you are great people. What inspired you guys to do this business?
Well, as you know, we've had a business for probably the past 23 years. We actually started off with installation for a surveillance camera called Farris All Surveillance, and then we went from that to Papa Sugar Shop. I think it was next, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then from there we transitioned to Papa Smoke Shop. Um, and now we're trying to just monopolize this thing and get more and more and more. But right now we'll just continue to try to help the community and bring more jobs and stuff to the community. We've done vending sessions in West Georgia with the candy shop so far, but now we're going to branch off and start doing the smoke shop in West Georgia and the Atlanta area.
See, you don't answer one of my questions before I even got to it, John.
My bad.
Just like you.
You should have asked my better half, then she would have known how to, you know.
Just like you. I didn't even know y'all had that business for 23 years.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I honestly thought that this was your first business.
No, this is our first brick and mortar.
Right.
But business is in his blood, so it's been business on top of business, but this is the first permanent location.
Okay. And how long have you guys been open already?
We opened in November of last year.
November 23rd of last year.
Okay. Is the business going as you hoped that it would?
Yeah. It's gotten a lot better. At first, we were like, oh my God, like, should we have done this? But I think the first week we were open, we had a customer to come in. His name was, well, I want to say his name, but it ended up being more than just selling. We ended up having prayer inside. And it's crazy because we were like, God, what led us here? And we've had prayer, we've mentored, we've invited people to church, we've talked to people, we've helped people with their business. And it's
Oh gosh.
oh my goodness.
Yeah. That is one thing I can say is the community has really embraced us. And so, we're not even to the first year yet. So we're just excited to see the continual growth.
Well, that is awesome. And it's so funny that you talked about prayer because I had a customer, no matter where you work, everything is customer service.
Yeah.
You do customer service internally and you do customer service externally. But when you have those divine connections, that don't mean nothing but God. Nothing but God. I had a customer that came on my line the other day, and you guys know me personally. The struggles that I've had in losing my mom.
Yeah.
And, the last week or so, I've been having some down days, and this customer came on my line, and we were talking, and he called in kind of a panic about making a change on his policy. And we got to talking. I swear, that man talked me from 6:45 to 7:47. I'm supposed to
Oh,
log
wow.
out and get off work at 7:30. But I always tell my customers, anytime I have conversations like that, I already know that it's God. And He told me at the end of the call, He said, if you feel somebody praying for you, He said, it's me. He said, I really appreciate you talking to me. He said, you just don't know what an inspiration you have been to me. He was a recovering drug and alcoholic.
Wow.
He had been clean for 33 years. And he was telling me that he has a 10-year-old daughter. And we just was talking. And that's all it was. And I love my job because my job allows me to be myself. I don't mind inspiring people. I don't mind motivating people. And like I said, when you get those customers that you just have that prayer talk with and you have that
Right.
God talk with, it's nothing but a divine connection from God. And there's a reason why they were there. There's a reason why you guys, had that conversation with that customer. I love that.
Right.
So cool.
Absolutely right. So very true.
Yeah, that is so nice. How long have you guys been married?
21 years.
I was 21 years.
You wrong for that. You wrong for that.
It took him too long to respond. So,
We had to think about it, Ida.
It was 21 years, May 22nd. So we've been together for 23 years.
Wow.
See, I got that one right. You saw her nod, right? So that means I got that answer right.
but the question was how long we've been married.
21 years.
I'm not gonna fool with you tonight. That was actually May 22nd was the day that my mom passed in 23.
Oh, no.
Really?
Yeah, May 22nd. That's actually my younger brother's birthday that she passed on.
Wow.
Yeah, but yeah, you guys have been married 21 years. And John, I don't know why every time I ask you how many kids y'all have, I always think you're about to say 12. And it's what you say, 8?
Yes, 8.
You always increase the number. Every time I talk to you, you be like 11, you be like 12. It's 8. 8. You have
I was
children
waiting for that 1 2 to come through. I said, wait, that's not 12, that's 8.
and 6 grandkids.
Okay, okay. So is everyone involved in the business?
None of them are.
Just absolutely none.
No, they have no interest in it at
I mean,
all.
as customers, maybe, but
Wait a
not.
minute.
I
I,
mean, we have older kids,
I wasn't going to say that
just
though.
to clarify, we have older kids.
Oh, what was, I know you said you have been in business for 23 years and you started this business. What is the inspiration behind it?
I've always wanted to be one of the first in my family to own something, to have it my own and to actually pass it down. Now we have like land in our family that we've passed down, but no one has actually owned a business, not that I can remember, or a brick and mortar. It's always been a struggle. So I want it to be less of a hassle and less of a struggle for my kids and my grandkids. We see, people passing down things all the way down from their family to their kids to their grandkids. So I wanted to start that trend with my family. I wanted to start being able to pass something down, to my kids and my grandkids and on down and down and have that name stamped on it.
That's awesome, yeah, because there's a lot of people that can't do that. They want to do it, but they can't.
Yeah,
And you guys have been blessed to be able to do it. So that is awesome. Everybody wants to, and it doesn't necessarily have to be something that you have to touch to leave a legacy.
that's right.
Like Malcolm Jerome Warner in his last days, the interview before he passed away, his last interview, he was saying that the legacy that he wanted to leave was that people knew that he was a good person. And he definitely have left that legacy because the love that has poured out, about him and for him. There was a guy, and I can't remember his name, did a poem to him, and I shared it on my page. It was so awesome. I didn't know that he was a poet. A lot of stuff I'm just finding out now that he passed away. All I knew him as was Theo from the
Right.
Cosby Show. I didn't know how much he was an influence in Atlanta either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having this Wednesday for him. Don't give me the line about where it is because I don't remember. But Georgia Me is actually, I think she's hosting it. TC Carson is going to be there. Um, it's on July 30th. That's what it is. I said this week, but it's actually July 30th. But yeah, it's like I said, it's not always something that you have to touch to leave a legacy.
That's right.
It's how you know treat people while you're here. That plays a big part in the legacy that you leave.
That's very true. And that's something that we've heard with the customers who come in. They really appreciate the atmosphere and how they're treated when they come into our store. And irregardless of whether our kids want to, take ownership, we are building a legacy that entrepreneurship is possible in our community. And so even if this isn't what they want to do, generations to come will know that it can be done. And if we were able to do it, they can do it as well.
And that's the best part about building a business. Building up your community. You're leaving a legacy, but you're also adding positivity to your community, regardless of whatever it is that you're selling, whatever the services is that you're offering. When you build a business. So that's the best part about it, and that's what I'm looking to do.
Yeah.
Whenever I decide to get up off my tucky and build my business, I want to leave a legacy, for my kids and my grandbaby. Who you waving at, Farris? How you gonna put your hand on the screen and wave? Ain't nobody. Who you waving at? You waving at me?
No. Ethan was leaving and he waved. So it's just forced to have it just to wave back. It's just reflex. It's just reflex. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I tried to.
I just ignored them.
Yeah, because they were leaving out the house and they waved. She didn't say anything.
Because she wasn't supposed to. You had your hand up.
Yeah, I was trying to do it slick, but you ain't have to call me out like that.
I notice everything. You know I notice everything, so stop playing with me. So how do y'all balance? Because I know y'all have a very strong marriage. Um, y'all have a very strong work ethic as well. So how do you balance between your personal and your business? Like now that you have this brick and mortar.
There is no difference. There is no difference at this point. It's all kind of one in the same right now. While we're building the brand and building the business, we're there together. And if we're not there together, then we have things that we're doing that are working towards that. So it all just kind of blends together right now.
Okay. Was the brick and mortar part of you guys retiring eventually?
Was it part of what?
You retiring eventually down the line?
I think that's part of his goal. The entrepreneurial aspect of our life has always been something that John has wanted. And my goal, of course, as his wife, has been to help him get there. So that's definitely a part of his retirement package.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. You get to retire and get to lounge in your chair. Where's my dog? I miss God.
Leave him alone. He is over there sleeping, not bothering anybody. Don't say his name.
Please don't say his name, because if you say certain things, he's gonna run over here. Don't.
You can come and visit him.
Yeah, but because I don't need 110 pounds running up behind us now with his head right here.
I have to come see Gotti. I literally just was looking at his picture that I took when I was sitting on the couch and he was sitting between my legs. I was actually looking at that picture about today is I don't even know what today is, but like a week ago when I was going through my phone deleting all of my past pictures. Excuse me.
Your past pictures.
All of my pictures from 2017 and 18 of me and my ex-spouse.
Okay.
I was actually telling my counselor that that was a big step for me because I'm that person that like to hold on to memories. But in going through my phone and deleting it, I was explaining to her that at the end of the day, that happiness that I felt back then, at the end, it felt like a lie. So why hold on to those memories?
Oh wow.
Wow.
There's no reason for me to. It's just like, and I start. It's so funny because I started writing a poem and I didn't finish it, but this is what it said. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm gonna tell you what it said. It said I started out the blank pages of my past as I erased the pics from my phone. The physical memories are now gone, but the mental ones are still crowding my head. So although the physical pictures are gone, those memories in my head, but a lot of the memories that I have are of being hurt that I hurt that I didn't deserve. Let me just say that.
Right.
Right. Right.
I didn't deserve that. But it was a life journey. It was a life lesson, and I'm actually, regardless of the pain and all that I went through, I'm thankful for my journey. God took me through that for a reason.
To meet us.
Yes, yes, and got it. Don't do that. You will
Don't.
not.
It's funny. Anytime we talk to anybody on the phone, they ask about all the kids, and they always ask about Gotti. It could be anybody. And how's Gotti? Where's Gotti? I'm like, I don't know. He's outside. Why is he outside? He's a pit bull, I guess.
How old is Gotti now? How old is he now? Is he?
He's 4, 15, 14, 15, something like that.
Oh wow.
No,
No.
I think he's a little bit younger than that.
I'm sorry.
Maybe
Yeah,
13.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's like 60 something in dog years, I think.
He's an
Believe
old
me, he's an
man.
old man.
He's old.
We see it. He's all gray right here. He doesn't chase anything anymore. He'll do this and bark one time.
Oh. And that's it.
Nope.
Very stubborn,
That's
grumpy old man.
very stubborn and grumpy.
Sounds like when men get old themselves, human men.
Wow. I don't think I'm like that, am I? Wow.
The silence said it all.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I ain't gonna bash you no more, Farris. I ain't gonna bash you.
No, it's fine. It's cool. I'll call you after this. But
Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. I know that doing a startup business, you go through a lot of hurdles. What were some of the hurdles that you guys went through in starting up your business?
actually, all of it. Again, this was the first brick and mortar, which being that the type of business it is it was the licensing. And then after the licensing, it was the promotion of it, the customer base, trying to get the customers inside. But it's so much paperwork that's involved, and uh, depending on the type of business that you're opening, is what type of license that's required. And for us, the smoke shop, it was a lot. So there was a lot of us going back and forth to the courthouse, or not really the courthouse, but downtown to the what's that license building or whatever you call it.
Yeah, to the city.
To the city, yeah.
It's all a learning curve. Just finding out things that you didn't know at the last minute, and so it's all just very relative, really. Marketing, getting that brand recognition out there, making sure people know where we are out here in Douglasville, right off of Veterans Memorial. Um,
11963 Veterans Memorial Highway, Suite
See,
H.
I was gonna ask you that in the show,
Um,
sir. You ain't have you. That was a sorry plug, sir.
oh, I just thought that's what you asked. I didn't hear you.
I'm gonna need you to wait.
So,
um, so I mean, really, that's been, I would say, the hardest part is just making sure that customers know we're there, and that we've got what they need. And if we don't have what we need, we keep a list of what people are asking for. And if we start to hear the same things, then we make sure that we add that to the inventory, because we want to make sure that we're serving our clients.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's the best. What is it called? My mind went a total blank. Something in demand. What's I know y'all know. I can't think of it.
What'd you say?
What did you say?
Something in demand. I'm trying to think of the word. Um,
Supply and demand.
Supply and demand. There you go. And that's a good thing because when people come into your stores, and especially like you said, Ida, when people are asking for the same thing over and over again, that lets you know, okay, we need to have this in stock.
Right.
Has it been a time where you have ran out of product because you didn't order enough?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
we have products that customers just love that we try to make sure we keep in stock. One of the things that we've kind of come up against is all of the changes with regulations. And so, we've lost a little money having to get rid of product that is no longer allowed to be sold in Georgia. And then so having to then turn around and restock, what we are allowed to sell. So those are all, challenges that we face as well, especially when customers have gotten used to those things and we have to then educate them that, it's now against the law in Georgia. So, it's all just a constant learning curve in being able to keep up with demand.
I got you. Did the law change all over for vape stores? Because I know a lot of changes happen in Alabama where some vape stores are actually moving out of Alabama and thinking about coming to Atlanta.
Yeah. You have federal laws that everyone have to abide by. Then you have state laws also, that you have to abide by. And here in Georgia, the state law, even when we got our license, they were like, hey, make sure you continue week by week looking at the laws because they change. And it's crazy that these laws actually change bi-weekly sometimes and bi-monthly. They actually change. So we have to stay up on them. And the customers don't look for that. They just want what they want. And then we have to just, hey, the law has changed, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Because there's a lot of vape stores in the area and just in Georgia, period, that has said, forget it, we're just going to continue selling what we're selling, and they get closed down. These people are actually looking, and we built this from the ground up, and we're not trying to lose it by any means at all. So we make sure we stay up on the laws.
Yeah, I understand that. But shit, that sounds like financial aid. Every time you turn around, laws are changing, so you got to keep abreast on it. So this is not an ordinary business.
I'm sorry, I
Christine,
can't
we
hear you.
can't hear
We can't
you.
hear you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying that this type of business is not that ordinary business. You got to stay abreast up on the laws in order to stay in business.
Right.
What is the most valuable lesson you've learned starting this type of business?
Well, that's a good
The most valuable lesson for someone starting this type of business?
Yes, for you guys starting this business, what was the most valuable lesson in starting this type of business?
one. Number one, not staying focused, something like that. Staying focused, not trying to do too many things at one time, not trying to over order, and making sure that we stay in our lanes. Like when Ida says, hey, John, make sure you do this, and I'm going to do this, make sure that, I do this part and not try to get in her lane and vice versa. Because it can become overwhelming. You can start stepping over each other, which can cause a lot of chaos, confusion, not just within the business, but within the household also. So you got to know to stay in your lane when you're doing it as a couple. Now, some people can do it when they're just, by themselves or whatever, but when you're doing it as a couple, you have to know that, hey, I'm good at this and she's good at that. So, when it comes to the office work
Right.
or the paperwork, the,
I handle the money and the paper. He handles the sales.
She got the money, John. She got the money.
I handle the sales. I wonder why. Why?
She says she handles the money. You ain't got to worry about that.
Uh,
So now with that, you talked about the fact that as a married couple, you have your strengths. You have
mhm.
what you work on, and she has what what she works on. So, what advice would you give to other couples that may be thinking about or are in business now together?
I'm sorry, Chrissy. You were going in and out. I really couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's like you're away from the microphone a little bit.
Oh, okay. I was saying that you mentioned about the fact that you and Ida share, the business. You have what you do, and she has what she does. What advice would you give other married couples, whether they're starting a business or whether they're in business now together?
Number one, initially, pray together. Pray, pray, pray together. First, this is what we did. We prayed on it. Even when we purchased our house, we always made sure that we prayed on it first and asked God to give us the discernment for if it was right for us or if it wasn't right for us. So if it wasn't right for us, give us the discernment to just walk completely away from it. That was the very first thing. And do everything as a couple. You're gonna have people on one side telling you something, and then you're going to have people in her ear telling her something else. But if you all just go on what those people say, you're never going to come together. And you have to remember that you all are doing this as one. Everything is as one. Bank accounts as one. Thoughts and ideas have to be as one. I guess can't come up with an idea and say, "Hey, I'm going to do this." I have to make sure that talk to my partner, talk to my wife about this and make sure, hey, do you think this is a good idea? And let her know why I think it's a good idea or vice versa, why it's a bad idea. So once we come up with that together, if you're not doing it together, then you're not going to be successful at it at all. Um, frustration will build at the very beginning because like at the very beginning we weren't getting the customers that we thought we should. We're looking at, oh wow, these vape stores getting 10, 20, 30, 40,000 a month, and we made $300 this month, at the very beginning. So it's like, like that frustration and that doubt start to kick in. So that other person has to be like, look, we're going to do this, blah blah blah. And that build up, you have to make sure you keep each other encouraged, especially when you still have 9 to 5s. You both have 9 to 5s, so you have to stay encouraged and encourage each other. Pray, stay encouraged.
That advice that you just gave, that isn't even not just about business. That's just about being married, period. Um, as a couple, you have to pray together. You have to motivate each other. You have to be in each other's corner and know what your strengths are, and the other person know what their strengths are, what your
Right.
weaknesses are, and you bring it together. And again, you can't do it without God.
No,
If
that's
God
right.
is not in the mix, ain't nothing gonna work. I don't care which way you
Absolutely.
turn it. I don't care which way you flip it. It's not gonna work.
No, it's not.
So that advice comes again, not just about business. It's about marriage as well, about anything that you go
That's
into.
right.
So thank you for that advice. I'm sorry, y'all. For some reason, I got a lot in my throat right now. If you look back, Ferris, don't laugh about that. I saw you smirk. I told you, I see it, hear everything. Looking back on when you started this business, is there anything that you would have did differently?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think from
Financial.
for me anyway, I would have done more due diligence. I mean, we did our research,
Right.
but there were some things, it's like you don't know what you don't know. So, um, from that standpoint, I think there were some additional conversations that I would have had with people in our position, with smoke shops, and get a better understanding of certain things that we're figuring out in this first year that might have made things just a little bit easier for us. Um, but that's really about it. I mean, with any business, any startup, you're going to have your ups and downs. Everything is not going to be roses and sunshine, right? Even that you can look at all the data in the world, but It's really about your business and what you're doing and how you plan to get there.
Yeah.
So you can have that knowledge. It's great to know so you can be prepared. But when it comes down to really being in it, it's a whole different ball game.
I got you. Yeah. You're right about that. You can do everything you can possibly do in, within your means, and something still may happen. And you just have to know how to jump over that hurdle. That's